Hey guys, I wanted to give you an update here on the pigs. We moved them again, and you can kind of see them there in the background eating away at the clover and the grass and whatnot. I'll flip you around here, show you where we moved them. Alright, we just moved them right next door. You'll see this is where they were, the last two spaces. You can kind of see not the last one, but the next to last one, where their old little hut is. You know, it's starting to come back. The grasses and everything, they're starting to grow back in. And you can see they moonscaped this last section here. And I reused kind of where they were bedding down over here. You know, some may ask, well, don't they need a shelter? Well, they don't really need one now that it's warm and, you know, they're bigger. Obviously, they don't really need one. They'll find a place to kind of hunker down. If you think about pigs in the wild, you know, they don't have shelters, they just find one. But you can kind of see here around the base of these two trees, they've kind of rooted out them a spot to lay and to get out of the weather and that kind of thing. That area was part of this last paddock, and so I just kept it there so they didn't need to, you know, find them a new one. But yeah, we still got our water barrel, and you know, they have definitely figured out how to you know, drain the water out of it and dig them a mud hole so they can get cooled off. Water barrel's working well. I built a kind of a makeshift automatic feeder for them. Since these are feeder pigs, I want them to get as much food as they want, not, you know, a daily ration. So, you know, we want them to build up their weight as fast as they can, really. But you'll see it's working well. I need to make some modifications. They figured out how to get the door propped open. So, luckily we hadn't had any rain, but I'll get a piece added to that so it automatically closes back and, you know, won't get full of water if it rains. But they're really enjoying that out here. And this paddock, you know, it's just 3 pigs. We basically got them in 3 50-foot nets, so it's 150 foot of perimeter. You know, from what we've seen with the last one, you know, as long as it stays dry, this will actually last them quite a bit. We normally try to move them every 2 weeks at a minimum anyway. But if it gets wet, you know, they'll moonscape this area pretty good here. And we'll move on to the next. You can kind of see we're down closer to the barn here. And there's a lot of potential shade here coming up. So we'll move them around in this area probably quite a bit and get them to enjoy the shade here. And we'll kind of see from there. We may go, you know, into the woods across over there. Or we may go on down behind the barn. We'll just have to see. But just want to do a quick garden update for you guys. We hadn't really talked much about it, but here we've got our cucumbers. I decided to do cucumbers a couple different ways this year. Last few years I've been basically trellising them up, like you see here, and I'll go and prune all the suckers and whatnot off the plants so to keep them growing in one direction. See here, prune the sucker off right there, and then I'll take them in the weeds and the suckers and everything that we pull. It's hard to see here, but put them in a bucket, and then you know, the chickens are right there, so we just feed them. You see the tomatoes, we got some tomatoes on there, hoping they'll get ripe pretty soon here. Green beans in this row, some peppers, squash and zucchini, and then this is the other half of our cucumbers. I decided just to kind of let them go, leave them on the ground, let them, not prune them back, all that kind of stuff. And you can see they're pretty wild, but you know, we'll just see how each one of them turns. The ones that I've pruned definitely are coming back, are putting on fruit earlier, you know, but a lot more work goes into it. So I don't know which will put on more, but we've got next row over, we've got watermelons and cucumbers rocking out over there. Some different successions of planting. We got sunflowers over on the far end. The empty bed there, that was all corn, but it didn't germinate. So maybe we'll maybe put some carrots in there here before too long and see if we can get some carrots this year. But yeah, not too bad for early on in the production of the cucumbers here. But I'm gonna get back to weeding, and we'll bring you guys along next time. So tomatoes are coming on, but they haven't got ripe yet. Just wanted to show you guys early season harvest here. We got our first pepper. The plants were given to us, so I'm not sure what it is. I think it might be a jalapeno or chili, something like that. But some squash, zucchini, cucumbers, white cucumbers. Just some of the stuff is about how much we get every day. So we quickly, you know, become overrun with it. So if anybody wants any squash or cucumbers, please let us know. While I was down here at the garden, I figured I would walk over and show some other stuff. Let me spin you around. Here's those sunflowers I'm talking about. You know, they're starting to get pretty big here. So, you know, hopefully they'll probably start blooming here in the next month or so. We got some elderberries growing on the farm this year. Really glad to see them coming in here. So we got some of these from a local nursery last year, and some of the other ones came from Stark Brothers. They're doing good. You see them flowering, they're starting to put on berries here. It's definitely exciting. And then here are the honeybees. We definitely want to thank them. Thank the Kieslers for bringing a hive over here for us. This swarm came into the hive this spring, and they're rocking it out. You can see they're full of activity, and they're definitely keeping things growing around here. So we're definitely appreciative of that. So I picked picked the greens, gave them to the chickens here. Basically about a 5-gallon bucket full of trimmings and weeds and whatnot that I pull. We're filling up their water right now, refilling, give them some new fresh water here. But yeah, since their coop is still under construction and they're fixed here, I try to provide them with some greens every day so that they get to enjoy and pick through all that and whatnot, and you know, get to add some variety to their diet. You can definitely tell in the eggs when they have gotten their grain and not whatnot. So grain and just grain versus grain, and you know, the greens and grass and bugs and all those good things. But water's almost topped off here, so we'll get that closed up and get it back in there to them so they can get something to drink. Speaking of chickens, here collecting eggs, and so you'll see here we're going to collect in our egg box. Look in there. There's no eggs in there, but down below, underneath the nesting boxes, look right here. They've all laid right there. And as you can see, that's why this second door is cut out in the side of the coop. You know, you can plan for a lot of things, but you you know, nature doesn't always go your way. So anyway, we make do, and I'm glad it's right here versus, you know, maybe on the other side. But we'll collect these eggs here and get them inside. So as we're walking back up towards the house here, I guess I should figure just finish showing you all the animals. So we got our the egg layers that we hatched out in the spring. They are doing well. After the meat chickens moved out, I moved them into the chicken tractor here, get them out on grass and whatnot. And you know, they will they'll stay in here for a couple more weeks. And once the turkeys are big enough to come out here in the tractor, we'll move these guys and gals out and put them in with the rest of the flock. Still not quite sure which ones are males, which ones are females, to be honest. None of them are crowing yet, but if comb shows anything, it's probably half and half. But we're really hoping for a lot of hens here. We need to pick our flock back up. We don't really need a lot of roosters, so if anybody's interested in a rooster, we may have one. There's some that are definitely pretty in color. So. And last we have the turkey poults here. Here they're in the brooder. We got 11. They've been holding on strong. These gents are about 2 weeks old now, so they're definitely getting big, growing a lot faster, you know, than chickens, but even Cornish cross. But yeah, they're doing good. You know, after the losses early on, we're doing good now. So we got them some grit, water. We feed the feeder. We give them some fresh greens every day. It helps with pasty butt and just getting them used to variety in their diet. And you see the lights just kicked on, so we got the lights on a temperature sensor. You can see it hanging down there, and it you know, makes sure that they get plenty of heat, and you know, but not, you know, since we're coming into summer now, we're not getting too hot for them. So.